Okay. Well, let's start talking to people again. See what they have to say. If they have anything to say. I don't know if they do. Amukiki was still recovering from his duel with Cruel. He was outmatched, but only through trickery. You did a good job. I did not win. You're alive? And honorless. Cruel was not yours to kill. I'm sorry we intervened, but we had to. The orcs were swarming you. I told you. One of us was going to die that morning. I asked you to let me fight him. You said you would. You're alive, and I don't regret that for a second. Hate me if you want. Amukiki's eyes twitched from glaring at Saren too hard. He figured he should leave the gladiator alone. I don't think anybody else is going to have stuff to say. Maybe. That was one heck of a fight. Against Cruel and the orcs? Yes. I know we were trying not to fight the whole army, but it sure felt like we did, didn't it? I'm surprised by how difficult that encounter was as well. I'm even more surprised by Dora. You're surprised? I nearly exploded. I bet you're happy she's safe and sound. Got so mad when that slime huffer picked her up, nearly exploded then too. I'm glad everything worked out in the end. Hey, Dora. How are you feeling now that Cruel is dead? Sorta. Nothing. Revenge isn't that sweet, boo. Don't you feel good for having avenged your family? Maybe if I had actually killed him with that first stab, but then he picked me up and made a fool of me. Don't think of it like that. Not all battles are clean victories. Most of them aren't. Look at Amukiki. The duel did not end cleanly for him either. He was also taken advantage of, but he's still a victor. That's all that matters. Take pride in your victory. I suppose it's just my family ain't coming back no matter what I do, you know. I don't know why I ran off. I thought I'd kill him all by myself, but I ain't no assassin. I didn't know what to do once I got there. And well, I was scared. So I hit again, like I always do. Like an orc? They're icky. I believe that. So anyway, family's still dead. He didn't kill Cruel by myself, and I smell like an orc. You'll need some joking. Did you want a piggyback ride? Those have always cheered up the younglings at the Citadel. I'm a dwarf, not a kid. Right, sorry. Is that a no? No? Hop up. Woo! Yes, that was awesome! I saw a box marked with your name in the Magic Academy. Did you attend there once? Unfortunately. Really? Why did you never mention that? Because then I'd lose all of my mysterious mystery. Why did you leave for the swamp if you lived in Horus before? Because I broke the rules and studied dark magic, of course. That's apparently really bad. I see, you practiced forbidden magic. Why are you not dead yet? Because I used said forbidden magic to make sure I'm not. Once they realized their quiet little girl was more than just a troubled child in need of a hug, I was an evil abomination up for execution. Dark magic changed them more than it changed me, but I'm the evil one? You were going to be executed. Just a little. I was a child, after all. Shambara laughed. Not very clever, either. Poison or locked up for my entire life. I hope no one got harmed during your escape. I don't kill for fun. I just think death is wonderful, so no, I use teleportation to escape. Apparently, that's pure evil. It let you escape. Evil is in the eye of the beholder. That's why I don't live in someone else's rules. Doink. Oh. Saren watched Dora jump up next to Trouble. It snapped at her and she growled back. Were you trying to get on top of Trouble? I want a mighty steed. It's just my size. Looks like it doesn't want to be your steed. Yeah, well, I don't want it either. Its fire would just ruin my clothes anyway. Dora stuck her nose in the air and left. Trouble looked at her quizzically. Oh, that's funny. That was good. Hey, Loren, what's up? Trouble was sniffing the ground around Loren and then her. Shoo. Trouble sat down in front of her. Be gone. All three of its heads turned on their side and looked up at her. Saren! Yes, ma'am? How do I get rid of it? You don't like Trouble? Why would I like him? Trouble began to whimper. Is it hurt? I think it just wants attention from you. How do I give it that? A pat on its head, maybe? Loren cautiously reached her hand out to touch one of Trouble's heads. The beast watched her and just as her hand came close enough, it licked and slobbered all over her head. Vile dog! Saren laughed. Go now, you've had your fun. Loren kept her arm far away from her body until she cleaned up. Ah, that was fun. That was too much fun. That was great fun. Alright, what's up, Draco? Draco was busy trying to pet all 3 heads of his new pet. Such a sweet little doggies, yes you are! It is a little cute. Trouble wagged its fire tail, looking up at Draco. They appear to have bonded well. Yay for Trouble. Okay, what about you, Ray? Do you have a quest? Yes! Do you have a moment to spare? I need bait for my next assignment. Excuse me? I've received word from Grand Tree that my services are needed. Apparently, no other elf would do. You're not talking about your skills as an assassin, are you? What else would I be talking about? Are you willing to help me? You called me bait! That's just the professional word for it. It'll only be a figurative trap. I don't want to participate in someone's murder. If the chance to see a masterwork really isn't payment enough, I'll make it worth your while. I doubt you could. I can make you very wealthy. That actually did make Saren think twice. Why me? With a treacherous human in the room, no one will notice the elf in the shadows. No offense. Thanks. You won't dirty your hands, I promise. The kill is all mine. I hope so. Ray grew more smug. Pleasure doing business with you. Whenever you could get yourself ready, we can get this over with and you can get paid. Alright, Ray's personal quest. But first, time to go to the shop. Because Ray is another person I have not upgraded, like, in the slightest. 22, attack plus 2. Oh, attack plus 5. That's a little better. Equip that directly onto him. Let's see. We're going to sell this. I'm going to sell this. I'm going to sell this. I might as well sell that. Alright, good. Good. Yeah, good. Alright, let's see. What do we got here? That's magic. Huh. This is a solid thing. Let's have him equip that. Attack and damage. Equip that. Ooh. Definitely equip that. Equip that. Can I get this one? Equip that. I can, just barely. And equip that. There we go. And now we're gonna sell all these. Alright. I am pretty much completely out of things. Oh, great. Potions. I need potions. I've been needing potions. There we go. There. I bought all of the potions that I could. Leave the shop. Leave it. Camp. Now we're going to save it again, because we just upgraded equipment again and all that. Alright. Ray's personal quest. Let's do it! Let me guess. I can only have Ray and Saren. Yep. Not surprised. Saren approached Ray and informed him he was ready to leave. They were on their way to Grand Tree before Saren could ask any questions. When they arrived in the city, Saren was surprised to see a festival was taking place. Acrobats, dancers, and musicians filled the forest, along with gawking spectators and opportunistic vendors. Perfect. What's going on? Annually, we give thanks to the forest. Not that you'd care. I do. I'm sure. The merriment is perfect for us. We should be able to go anywhere without much suspicion. About that. Not here. Ray cut away suddenly, and Saren followed him. They weaved through the crowds and wound up at a public house. They moved towards the stairwell, but Ray stopped. Elf guards were blocking the way up. Okay, your time to shine. Excuse me? Ray pushed Saren towards the guards and now had their full attention. What's upstairs? None of your business. Move along. I was only asking because I heard there was an assassin near here. An assassin? That's bad news. Yeah, I heard he was about this high, blonde hair, had a very obnoxious personality. If you had anyone important around, you'd probably want to be extra careful. Our charge isn't here right now. I wonder if I should go find him. Saren could see Ray slink up the stairs without being noticed. Now all he needed was a loud clatter in the room behind Saren caught everyone's attention. Not wasting the moment, Saren dashed up the stairs as well. That was fortunate timing. You're welcome. You! Ray signaled Saren to lower his voice. He leaned forwards to peer around the corner. He straightened and walked around the corner without reserve. Saren followed, expecting to see an empty room, but several nymphs were lounging around, lazily flapping their wings. They perked up at the sight of them. Ladies. The nymphs were agitated and started to furiously flap their wings. We shouldn't be here. Which is exactly why we should be. The nymphs hovered off the floor with violent glares. I think they're gonna attack us. Shame. They're so pretty. I don't want to hurt the poor little nymphs. It's gonna make me feel like an asshole. Jeez. God damn it. Sorry about this!
Does anyone need healing?
The nymphs squealed and flew out of the windows. They barely had time to recover before they heard the sound of people coming up the steps. Distract him for me. What? But Ray was gone. He had disappeared somewhere in the room. A dignified elf and the two guards swung around the corner and stopped upon seeing Saren. You! How did you get up here? Who are you? I think it is you who should explain who he is. Let me guess, you're an assassin sent by one of my rivals. The fancy elf laughed to himself. What lengths some will go to see that I never make it to the Elder Circle. Your failed return should be all the message they need. The guards prepared to attack Saren. Ray dropped from the ceiling and both guards were knocked face first into the floor. The assassin's crossbow clinked behind the politician's head. You guessed wrong. The politician glowered and slowly turned to meet the deadly end of Ray's weapon. Now it truly makes sense. I was meant to see your face before I died. Much more cruel. Ray was confused for a moment, which prevented him from firing his bolt. My face! You're the young Copperleaf child, aren't you? I must say, it isn't working. I feel nothing and regret nothing. Would you mind making some sense, or were those your poetic last words? You don't even know. The politician laughed, and the confusion angered Ray. What don't I know? I knew your parents. The same fool who sent you here sent you here to me knew them too. The elf laughed deliriously, and Ray kicked him onto the floor. Did you really not expect that I might tell you? Did you plan that I would die before I got the chance? Ray glared at the cackling elf on the floor. His crossbow was starting to tremble. Dark elves. No, you. Ray's voice was low and harsh. And her. They were in our way. Ray's bolt flew from his crossbow and the laughter ceased. He didn't move for a long while. His eyes still burned into the dead elf. Ray, it's over now. No, it's not over. Yet. Ray ran forward and leaped out of the room through the window. Saren ran to the window and watched him hit the ground running. Saren scrambled to make it out of the building fast enough to keep sight of where he was going. He watched Ray make his way across town and to a large tree manor. By the time Ray found an open window, Saren had managed to catch up with him, but Ray did not stop, and he immediately scaled the side of the treehouse and dove into the open window. Saren followed, though with much less ease or grace. When Saren did clamber inside, he saw Ray panting in the center of the room, staring at an old woman sipping some tea. It's done. Ray was silent. He was breathing very heavily, and his eyes were still burning. Then he told you. You said it was the Dark Elves. The old elf placed down her tea. Of course, I couldn't tell you it was me. Ray readied his crossbow. Haven't you killed enough for today? Listen to your friend. Killing me will not bring back your parents. It will avenge them. Revenge holds no reward. Everything about it is hollow. There's nothing you can say that won't end with you upon my arrows. The elder rose and held a look with Ray. She then walked towards a cabinet and pulled out a drawer. She pulled out an ornate box and brought it back to the table. Ray kept his aim on her the whole time. I kept this from you, since I would have to explain how it came into my possession. But now that you know, I need you to take it. cleanse me of this guilt. I care nothing for your guilt. I want what you cannot give me. My family. My life. I spent all this time thinking of the Dark Elves and that they were my enemy. And you grew into becoming one of the greatest assassins that the Great Tree has ever seen. I'm sorry for what had to happen, but if I had to choose, I would rather stay where I am. The old elf called for her pets and they slithered into the room. Oh boy, this one's gonna suck. We gotta drop her first, though.
Boo! Stand aside.
That's one down. Time to drop the snakes.
Boo!
Ray's is much easier than, like, Dora's was. Maybe that's because I didn't have Ray for a while, so they think, oh, you know, he's the lowest leveled at this point, probably. Woo, we win. Hooray. Sorry about that, everyone. Ooh. Ray almost could not stand after the fight was over. His training was failing after learning such devastating news. We need to go now before we're caught. Eventually, Ray stood and recomposed himself. He looked over at the box on the table. He approached the box and opened it. Inside was a crossbow embellished with the copperleaf insignia. Ray reached out and lifted it gently. Did that belong to your parents? It seems one thing about my past has not been a lie. My father was also a marksman. Then it is in your blood. Ray zoned out once more, then he shook out of it and headed for the windows. We must disappear, now! I'm right behind you. Ray jumped out of the window like before, and Saren learned to keep pace this time around. They escaped deep into the woods and away from any town. The long walk back to camp provided Ray with ample time to reflect on his entire life to date. Are you all right? I think so. I'm disturbed, that's all. Do you think differently of the Dark Elves now? Ray didn't answer, which was as good as one to Saren. Ray didn't want to admit that his thinking had been completely wrong. Although it was not clear if his new knowledge would change his views on certain things, it was clear that his father's crossbow became his new favorite weapon. Complete all character quests! Done, bitches! You probably want to equip this crossbow, man. Yeah, you want to equip that crapo. That's better crapo. It's good crapo. Yeah, alright. Hey, this is RPGatWill. I hope you liked this episode of Loren the Amazon Princess. If you want to check out some of my other material, you can click on my channel link below, or you can even subscribe if you'd like. I like to do some silly songs on the side, along with my RPG work. If you want to see some more group-oriented stuff, there's another channel called Gaming Idiots TV that I take part in. That's where we do all our group stuff, so I'll provide a link below if you want to check it out there. See you next time.